Wang Han, a food delivery guy, speeds through the city on his red motorcycle. His phone buzzes and he answers the call. An unknown woman's voice says she's pregnant with his child and they need to talk. Busy with deliveries, Wang Han dismisses it as a scam, tells her he has no time, and hangs up annoyed. He then speeds off again, weaving through traffic. Wang Han arrives at the XX food delivery center, where his co-workers are gossiping outside. With a cigarette in his mouth, he asks a heavier-set co-worker what he's mumbling about. The co-worker explains that the prestigious Su family's daughter is marrying the city's richest man's son, a topic irrelevant to Wang Han. The co-worker then shows a phone picture of the beautiful Su family daughter, complaining it's a waste for a perfect girl to marry the rich man's son, whom he calls an ugly, useless sleazebag. As Wang Han glances at the photo, he is shocked to realize the woman looks familiar. His co-worker snatches the phone back, and Wang Han's memory clears. His co-worker asks if he also thinks it's a shame for a good girl to be wasted on someone so awful, but Wang Han recognizes her as a drunk girl who once tried to seduce him. A sudden realization hits him. She's the one who called him moments ago. He wonders if the call wasn't a scam after all. The scene flashes back to 1 month ago. The Su family's daughter is stumbling down a hotel hallway, dizzy. She suspects a man named Chin Hao put something in her drink. She heads to what she thinks is her room, 809, but in her disoriented state, she mistakes the number. She finds a door slightly ajar and wonders if she forgot to close it before entering. Inside that room, Wang Han is sitting on his bed, dejected and drinking heavily. He thinks about being told his aura was too intense for an opportunity and resigns himself to his delivery job. As he sits on his bed, drunk and dejected, the young woman, Suchi, stumbles into his room and collapses onto his bed. Dazed and feverish, she looks up at him and asks who he is and if he can help her, complaining that her head is spinning and she feels incredibly hot. Drunk himself, Wang Han is captivated by her, thinking how stunning she is. As she gets closer and pleads for his help, he is flustered, wondering if he's dreaming. He clenches his fists, a spilled liquor bottle beside him, overwhelmed by the intense situation. Snapping back to the present, Wang Han is lost in this memory, staring at Suchi's photo on his coworker's phone. His coworker, Fatty, notices him spacing out and calls his name. Fatty starts mocking him, reminding everyone how Han always makes up stories, like sleeping with an international movie star. He sarcastically asks if Han will now claim he hooked up with the Su family heiress. The other co-workers join in, laughing and recalling his other tall tales, like being an international arms dealer or the top dog of an elite Beijing family. Wang Han remains calm. He lights a cigarette and tells them they don't get it, cryptically stating that what he does is hiding in plain sight. Just as one of the guys dismisses his claims, their banter is interrupted. A sleek red luxury sports car pulls up in front of the delivery center, shocking all the drivers. The driver's side door opens, and a slender leg in a high heel steps out. The woman who emerges is Suchi, looking poised and elegant. Wang Han's co-workers are mesmerized, their eyes turning to hearts as they gawk at her beauty, calling her a total knockout. As she walks towards them, one guy recognizes her from the photo. They realize with shock that the Su family heiress is standing before them and can't fathom why she would be at their humble delivery center. Suchi approaches Wang Han, who is casually stretching, and asks why he hasn't been answering her calls. His co-workers, who were just mocking him, are completely stunned. They can't believe that Wang Han actually knows the famous Su family heiress. Wang Han plays it cool, pretending he didn't see any missed calls and calmly asks her what is going on. Cutting straight to the point, Suchi looks him in the eye and states that she is pregnant and the baby is his. This revelation sends his co-workers into shock. They yell in disbelief, unable to process that this wealthy and beautiful woman is carrying their friend's child. One swears he will never again say Han is full of it. Wang Han himself is taken aback, rubbing his eyes as if in a daze, and asks if she is sure. Suki, her expression firm, tells him to come with her to the hospital to prove it. As she waits by her car, his co-workers frantically urge him to go with her. A stressed Wang Han decides to go and asks a buddy to cover for him. The two then speed off in her red car, leaving the astonished crew behind. Inside the car, the tension is thick. Wang Han asks if the baby is really his. Suchi replies curtly, questioning why she would lie about something so serious. Looking resolute, Wang Han tells her that if the baby is his, he will take full responsibility for both of them. Suchi gives him a skeptical look and scoffs at his promise, questioning how he'll take responsibility with his delivery job earnings. Unbothered, Wang Han leans back and confidently states there is nothing wrong with an honest living, and that supporting them won't be an issue. Suchi reminds him of her status as part of the powerful Su family in Jiangning. Wang Han simply dismisses this, saying that status crap is the dumbest thing. Annoyed by his nonchalant attitude, Suchi slams her foot on the accelerator, causing the car to jolt violently and throwing Wang Han forward. He yells at her, accusing her of doing it on purpose and asking what's so special about the Su family. The tense journey ends as they pull up in front of a large hospital. Suchi parks and calmly tells him they've arrived. As they get out of the car, Suchi warns Wang Han not to use the word responsibility so lightly. She reminds him of the serious consequences he would face if her family discovered a food delivery guy got her pregnant. This angers Wang Han, who passionately declares that it's not a joke to him. If the baby is his, he will absolutely take responsibility. Ignoring his outburst, Suki tells him to come inside. They walk down a hospital hallway. Suchi leads him towards a door labeled operating room, and Wang Han stops, shocked, asking why they are going there. Suchi looks back at him with a determined expression and states that she is going in, leaving him to realize her true intention, to terminate the pregnancy. In a panic, he grabs her arm to stop her. He pleads with her, acknowledging she probably thinks he couldn't support her and a child, but insists that money is not a problem, and he will find a way. Just then, a nurse approaches, informing Suchi it is time for her procedure. Suchi looks at Wang Han with a faint, unreadable smile, agrees with the nurse, and pulls her arm away. She walks into the operating room, leaving Wang Han calling after her in desperation. He stands outside the closed door, feeling powerless and frustrated, thinking he can't do anything to stop this determined woman. Inside the operating room, Suki is lying on the table in a patient gown. A surgeon asks if she is ready. As another surgeon prepares a syringe, telling her to relax, she closes her eyes. But at the last second, just before the procedure begins, she puts up her hand and tells them to wait. Meanwhile, Wang Han sits slumped in the waiting area. He has resigned himself to the situation, thinking if she is determined not to have the baby, he can't stop her. Suddenly, the operating room door swings open, and Suchi walks out, unchanged. Wang Han is stunned. He jumps to his feet, bewildered, and asks how she can be out already, questioning if surgeries are that fast these days. Suki, seemingly unfazed, tells a baffled Wang Han she is tired and asks him to drive her home. Wang Han confidently agrees, putting an arm around her and bragging that he could even fly a fighter jet. He gets behind the wheel of her red sports car and drives away from the hospital towards an affluent neighborhood called Longwan. During the drive, while Suchi rests, Wang Han receives a call. The person on the other end informs him of a bidding event that night at Jianye Tower, which the old man wants him to attend. The caller also mentions that Lin Qingyun, a chamber president, is on their side. Wang Han calmly acknowledges these instructions, hinting at a powerful, mysterious side to his life, unknown to Suchi. They soon arrive at a large house in the Su family's estate. Wang Han announces their arrival, waking Suchi. She gets out of the car and tells him to leave before her family sees him. Noticing she looks pale, Wang Han offers to walk her to the door, but she coldly rejects his concern, telling him to stay out of her business. However, as she turns away, her heel gets caught in a crack, causing her to lose her balance and cry out as she falls. With stunning speed, Wang Han lunges forward and catches her just before she hits the ground. As he helps her up, he chides her for being a klutz. Annoyed, Suki asks him to repeat himself, and he doubles down, calling her unbelievably clumsy. In a flash of anger, she pinches his side with all her might, causing him to shout in pain. The sudden exertion takes a toll on her, and she winces. Seeing her discomfort, Wang Han surprises her by sweeping her up into his arms. He carries her inside the lavish house and gently places her on a sofa. Opening a first aid kit, he begins to tend to her bare foot, which she twisted in the fall. She protests, telling him to go, but he firmly tells her to stop moving. Just as he is wrapping her ankle, they are interrupted by two women who have entered the room. The newcomers are Yang Huimin, Suchi's mother, and Lin Shuifu, her best friend. Suchi's mother looks at the scene in shock and demands to know what her daughter is doing. Wang Han and Suchi simultaneously explain that she twisted her ankle. Then, looking at her stunned mother, Suchi calmly announces that her boyfriend was just helping her apply some medicine. Wang Han is completely blindsided. Her mother, Yang Huimin, is even more shocked, pointing a trembling finger at the uniform-clad Wang Han and yelling in disbelief, asking if this man is really her boyfriend. Reeling from her daughter's announcement, Yang Huimin furiously demands to know what is going on and who this delivery guy is. After a moment of silence, Suchi backtracks, telling her mother with a forced smile that she was just joking. She explains that she twisted her ankle and the man simply helped her inside. Her flustered but relieved mother tells Suchi she scared her, reminding her that she is about to marry into the prestigious Chin family and cannot afford any mistakes. Wang Han, who has been silent, is offended by the mother's clear disdain and asks what's wrong with being a delivery guy. Yang Huimin scoffs, yelling that he is a low-class nobody trying to date out of his league and that he should keep dreaming. Her insult strikes a nerve and a furious expression crosses Wang Han's face. Before the situation can escalate, Suchi intervenes. She calmly tells Wang Han he can go now and thanks him for his help. He gives a short humph and turns to leave. As he walks away, Suchi's best friend, Lin Shuifu, watches him with a thoughtful expression. After he is gone, Yang Huimin tells Lin Shuifu to help Suchi to her room. With disgust, she orders someone to wipe the floor where the filthy delivery guy stood. Later, in her bedroom, Lin Shuifu helps Suchi sit on her bed and immediately asks about her real relationship with that man. Suchi initially claims there is nothing between them, but Lin Shuifu isn't buying it, insisting she can't be fooled because the way Suchi looked at him was clearly not nothing. Cornered by her friend's intuition, Suchi confesses the truth. She is pregnant with his child. Lin Shuifu is utterly flabbergasted, shouting in disbelief that she is pregnant. She questions Suchi's judgment, asking why, of all people, it had to be a delivery guy. Suchi explains that she drank too much that day and dismisses it as a fluke. Lin Shuifu presses on, asking what Suchi plans to do, reminding her that she can't hide the pregnancy forever from the powerful Chin family. To her friend's shock, Suchi firmly states that she has decided to keep the baby. Lin Shuifu thinks her friend has lost her mind. Suchi tries to reassure her, explaining that she spoke with the man, Wang Han, and he promised to take full responsibility. But Lin Shuifu is not convinced. She yells at Suchi to wake up, reminding her that she is the daughter of the Su family. She dismisses Wang Han as a delivery guy unworthy of her and warns of dire consequences if the Qin family finds out. Tired of the lecture, Suchi holds up a hand to stop her, saying she will figure it out. She changes the subject, asking why Lin Shuifu is back in town. Lin Shuifu explains her grandfather came to Jiangning to meet an important big shot and check out a bidding event that night, so she came along. Suki's uninterested "oh" annoys her friend. Suddenly, Lin Shuifu's expression changes, and she announces she has a brilliant idea. Leaning in, she whispers a sinister plan to Suki. If her secret gets out, she should just claim the delivery guy raped her. Suki responds with disgust, remarking what an awful idea that is. Meanwhile, Wang Han has left the Su estate and is walking through the exclusive villa district. He pulls out his phone, muttering that there are no taxis in this area. Just then, a sleek black car pulls up beside him. Wang Han watches as a man in a sharp suit steps out. The older, silver-haired man approaches Wang Han and respectfully greets him as young master. He introduces himself as Lin Qingyun, president of the Julong Chamber of Commerce, and explains he is there to escort him to the bidding event. Wang Han, putting the pieces together, recalls the conversation and confirms his grandfather had told him about the arrangement, revealing a hidden connection to immense power that contrasts with his life as a delivery driver. Accepting the offer, Wang Han tells Lin Qingyun that before the bidding, he needs a shower and a change of clothes. Lin Qingyun respectfully agrees, promising to arrange everything as he opens the car door for his young master. They depart in a luxurious black limousine. The scene shifts to the bustling bidding event in a grand ballroom filled with wealthy guests. Wang Han arrives, now transformed. He has shed his delivery jacket for a sharp, tailored suit, looking powerful and confident as he surveys the crowd. As he stands near a window, his attention is caught by a familiar face. It is Lin Shuifu, Suki's best friend, in a stunning white evening gown. She approaches him with disdain and asks what the delivery guy is doing at such an exclusive event. Before he can answer, she jumps to a conclusion, accusingly asking if he is working a part-time job. Before Wang Han can correct her, she grabs his arm and forcefully pulls him away, saying she needs to talk. In a more secluded spot, she confronts him, declaring that Suchi is her best friend and is pregnant because of him. She fiercely warns him that if he doesn't take full responsibility when the baby is born, she will make him regret it. Wang Han is completely shocked by this. He tells her he thought Suchi had gotten rid of the baby at the hospital. Lin Shuifu furiously informs him he is wrong, and Suchi decided to keep it. This new information stuns Wang Han, who exclaims her name in disbelief. He realizes she must not have gone through with the surgery. Lin Huifu, seeing his hesitation as a sign he might shirk his duty, repeats her threat, warning that if he tries to walk away, he will regret it. To emphasize her point, she forcefully grinds her stiletto heel onto his shoe, causing him to cry out in pain as she turns away with grim satisfaction. Just as Lin Huifu leaves, an announcer's voice cuts through the ballroom, informing guests the bidding is about to begin. Still processing that Suchi kept the baby, Wang Han is filled with a new urgency. He can't believe it and resolves to finish his business quickly so he can go find her. At that moment, a woman in a business suit approaches and respectfully greets him as young master. She introduces herself as Liu Yue, his new assistant, assigned by Chairman Lin Qingyun. Acknowledging her, Wang Han states that it's time to go. The two walk towards the main event area with a powerful presence. As they find their place, a stout, flamboyantly dressed man makes his way to the front. He smugly announces to the attendees that the day's main bid, the new district project, is being claimed by the Qin family. Twirling his mustache, he warns everyone to show them respect or face the consequences. This arrogant man is Qin Lei, the eldest young master of the Qin family. Wang Han asks his assistant who the man is. Liu Yue explains he is from the Qin family, one of the richest families in Jiangning and their biggest rival for the project. With a dismissive air, Wang Han questions if a guy like that could compete with him. Liu Yue elaborates that the Qins plan to win the project and then leverage their marriage alliance with the Su family to help them out of some trouble. The mention of the Su family makes it all click for Wang Han. He remembers his co-worker's rant about Miss Su being married off to a trashy rich guy. He realizes this arrogant man, Qin Lei, is the fiancée Suchi is supposed to marry. With a grim look, he now sees the full picture connecting Suchi's engagement, her family's troubles, and this bidding war. The auctioneer presents the main item, Lot 053 in the new district. Without hesitation, Qin Lei raises his paddle and opens with a bid of 5 billion. The crowd erupts in shocked whispers, realizing the Qin family is dead set on winning. They murmur that with the upcoming Qin-Su marriage, no one would dare challenge them. Just as the auction seems decided, Wang Han calmly raises his bidding paddle and counters with 6 billion. The room is stunned into silence, then breaks out into frantic chatter. Guests wonder who this audacious man is, assuming he must not be a local to dare go against the Qin family. They believe the project was a sure thing for the Qins, and they won't let this slide. Across the room, Qin Lei's smug expression vanishes, replaced by pure rage. He clenches his fists so tightly his knuckles turn white. He glares furiously at Wang Han and yells across the room, demanding to know who the hell he is and accusing him of looking for trouble. The confrontation has begun. Facing Qin Lei's outburst, Wang Han remains composed. He calmly points out that they are at an auction where the highest bidder wins and asks if there is a problem. Qin Lei, his face contorted with rage, retorts, asking if Wang Han didn't hear him say that the Qin family wanted this project. With supreme confidence, Wang Han replies that he heard perfectly fine, but questions what that has to do with him. The surrounding guests are shocked, murmuring about who this mysterious man is that he would dare to challenge the mighty Qin family. Not to be outdone, an enraged Qin Lei raises his paddle and shouts a bid of 700 million. Without missing a beat, Wang Han counters with 800 million. The bidding war continues and the tension thickens. Qin Lei storms over to Wang Han with his entourage, getting in his face and screaming that in Jiangning City, the Qin family is the law. He makes a final desperate bid of 900 million, daring Wang Han to keep bidding if he has a death wish. Wang Han simply laughs, a picture of calm amusement, and casually announces a bid of 1 billion. Having been utterly and publicly humiliated, Qin Lei finally snaps. He screams that Wang Han is asking for it and threatens to chop him up as he throws a wild punch at Wang Han's face. But Wang Han is impossibly fast. He easily dodges the clumsy attack and, with a single motion, delivers a powerful punch to Qin Lei's face. As Qin Lei is sent flying, crying out in pain, Wang Han contemptuously asks if he thought he could take him on alone. As Qin Lei lies dazed, his two bodyguards leap to their feet and charge at Wang Han. The ensuing fight is brutally efficient. Wang Han moves with incredible speed, effortlessly dispatching them with powerful kicks and strikes, leaving them defeated on the ballroom floor. Qin Lei struggles to his feet, holding his bruised face in disbelief. He screams at Wang Han, accusing him of having a death wish for daring to lay a hand on him. Wang Han, with a cold smirk, retorts that he is the one doing the hitting now. He launches another attack, sending one of Qin Lei's men flying through the air with a powerful kick. The bodyguard crashes down with a loud thud directly on top of his boss, knocking them both out in an undignified heap. With the fight over in seconds, Wang Han stands calmly amidst the chaos. He turns to the stunned room and casually asks the terrified auctioneer if anyone else is going to bid. The auctioneer, stammering, quickly replies that there are no other bidders. Having won the auction, Wang Han's business is concluded. He turns to his assistant, Liu Yue, and instructs her to sign the documents and transfer the funds. Explaining that he has urgent business, he gives a final wave and confidently walks out of the ballroom, leaving everyone to process the shocking display of power they just witnessed. The story shifts to an opulent room where Lin Shuifu stands before her grandfather, who is the same Lin Qingyun who serves Wang Han. She asks why he called her there in a hurry, causing her to miss the auction. Her grandfather cautions her to be careful once their guest arrives, admitting he still hasn't figured out this person's temperament. Lin Shuifu scoffs, wondering what big shot could have her powerful grandfather acting so cautiously. Just then, an aide enters and informs the chairman that the auction has ended. Lin Qingyun asks if the Qin family won, but the aide reports that someone else was the victor. Lin Shuifu is stunned, exclaiming that it's impossible. She can't believe the project slipped through the Qin family's fingers and wonders who could be bold enough to snatch it away. Her grandfather calmly informs her that the person they are waiting for has arrived. Looking at her phone, likely at a news update, Lin Shuifu remarks that this person is way too arrogant. Deciding this news is too important to wait, she tells her grandfather she is stepping out to call her friend Nanan, Suchi. As she walks down a hallway, she is absorbed in her thoughts and her phone call. She thinks about how the Qin family's failure jeopardizes their planned cooperation with the Su family. Determined to deliver this news to her best friend, she doesn't pay attention to where she is going. She walks straight into Wang Han, who is heading in the opposite direction. The collision is jarring, and she lets out a small cry as she bumps into his chest. Furious, she looks up and is shocked to see his face. She yells at him, demanding to know why it's him again and berating the stinking food delivery guy for not watching where he's going. However, her urgent call takes precedence. She quickly turns her back on the silent Wang Han and continues walking, speaking into her phone to tell Suchi her important news. Wang Han simply watches her go with a quiet, unreadable expression. After Lin Shuifu leaves, Wang Han enters to meet with Lin Qingyun. The older man greets him respectfully. Wang Han confirms his business at the auction is done, and then casually asks about the woman he just ran into. Lin Qingyun introduces her as his granddaughter, Lin Shuifu, pointedly mentioning she is unmarried. He praises her, saying she greatly admires Wang Han and has always wanted to meet him. This attempt at matchmaking amuses Wang Han, who dismisses it with a weary, "Give me a break." Changing the subject, Wang Han sits and asks Lin Qingyun if he knows Suchi. Lin Qingyun explains that she is the young lady of the Su family, the most outstanding talent of her generation, but has been kept out of the spotlight because the family favors sons over daughters. He confirms the Qin family intended a marriage alliance with the Su family after winning the project, but because Wang Han intervened, that plan is now delayed. Curious, Wang Han probes for more personal details, asking about Suchi's daily life and romantic history. Lin Qingyun informs him that the Su family has a very strict upbringing and Suchi has a stubborn personality. He states that she doesn't get involved with people easily and, as far as he knows, has never had a boyfriend. This new information brings a sly, knowing smile to Wang Han's face. Just then, his phone rings. The caller ID shows Suchi's name, and he answers smoothly, telling her he was just thinking of her. On the other end, Suchi asks if he has time and says she would like to see him. Wang Han immediately agrees and asks for her location. His urgent business now clear, Wang Han stands to leave. He tells Lin Qingyun he is leaving and that he can report back to the old man. As Wang Han walks out, Lin Qingyun makes one last attempt to promote his granddaughter, mentioning she graduated from the Royal Academy in London, just like Wang Han. Uninterested, Wang Han brushes him off, saying they can talk about it next time. The scene shifts to a park overlooking the city, where Suchi is sitting alone on a bench, looking thoughtful. A moment later, Wang Han arrives on his red motorcycle, now back in his sharp suit. He walks over and takes a seat beside her. Putting an arm around her, he gets straight to the point. He tells her not to worry about the child, and that he will support both of them. He then makes a definitive offer, telling her that if she wants to get married, they can go register anytime she likes, solidifying his promise of responsibility. Despite his confident promise, Suchi remains skeptical. With a wry smile, she questions his ability to afford such a commitment. Unfazed, Wang Han looks off into the distance and asks what he wouldn't be able to afford. To make her point, Suchi holds up her wrist, showing him her expensive watch and asking if he knows its cost. With surprising expertise, Wang Han correctly identifies the watch as a Pasha de Cartier, a 42mm 18K rose gold model, and correctly states its price of $352,000. Suki is visibly shocked by his detailed knowledge. She presses him, asking how much he makes in a year as a delivery guy and how many years he would have to work just to afford that one item. Wang Han reassures her not to worry about money and encourages her to have the baby. He confidently states he will definitely not let her or the child be short on material things, even boasting that providing for them wouldn't be a problem. Suki, rolling her eyes at his grand statement, dryly asks if it would kill him not to brag. Their conversation is interrupted when Suchi's phone rings. She answers, and her mother's frantic voice is on the other end. Her mother demands she come home quickly, informing her that Chin Hao is at the house waiting to discuss the wedding. Suchi quietly acknowledges the summons. Turning to Wang Han, she asks him to take her home. With a charming smile, he tells her it would be his pleasure. He helps her onto his motorcycle, and they speed off. During the ride, Suchi leans against Wang Han's back, a faint, peaceful smile on her face as she closes her eyes, seemingly content. They soon arrive back at the Su family estate. Wang Han walks her to the front door, and as they enter, Suchi announces to her mother that she is home. Her mother, Yang Huimin, immediately appears, annoyed. She scolds her daughter for being gone so long, telling her that Chin Hao has been waiting. In the background, a stout man in a suit sits on the sofa. Suchi simply states she went for a walk. Her mother then notices Wang Han behind her and disapprovingly asks why she brought someone back, reminding her that her wedding day with Chin Hao is approaching. The man on the couch stands and greets Suchi, confirming he came to discuss wedding matters. He gives a suave smile and introduces himself as Chin Hao, the second young master of the Chin family. Facing her fiancé, Chin Hao, Suchi tries to put their wedding on hold. She tells him that since the Chin family lost the new district project bid, their family's planned cooperation isn't finalized, and therefore their marriage should be delayed as well. Chin Hao, however, dismisses the lost bid as a small matter. With a sinister smirk, he insists they should get married first, and everything else can be negotiated afterward. His thoughts reveal his true intentions. He plans to get her into bed first and then decide later if he will give her family the money they need. Suki's mother, Yang Huimin, desperately tries to salvage the situation. She pleads with her daughter, reminding her that Chin Hao promised $1 billion to help the Su family as soon as they are married. But Suchi cuts her off with a sharp, "Don't say any more." With fierce determination, she declares that she will not marry him. Her refusal leaves both her mother and Chin Hao stunned. Taking a bold step, Suchi walks over to Wang Han, takes his arm, and announces that not only will she not marry Chin Hao, but she is also pregnant with Wang Han's child. Her mother shrieks in horror, grabbing her daughter and demanding if she understands what she is saying, pointing out that Wang Han is just a food delivery guy. Suchi pleads with her mother, insisting she doesn't want to be forced into marrying Chin Hao and promising that with some time, she can help the Su family through their crisis. Enraged by her daughter's shameful behavior, Yang Huimin raises her hand to slap Suchi. But before it connects, Wang Han's arm shoots out and firmly catches her wrist, stopping the blow. He looks at her coldly and asks what is wrong with being a delivery guy. He then turns the accusation of shame back on her, questioning if marrying her own daughter off to a scumbag for profit is considered having any shame. As she struggles in his grip, screaming at the stinking delivery guy to let her go, the situation escalates. Chin Hao, who has been watching the drama, finally explodes. He points an accusing finger at Suchi, his face twisted in rage, and calls her a slutty bitch he never expected to be so indecent. He rants about how she let a delivery guy ride her and then turns his fury on Wang Han, vowing to kill him. Suchi can only stand by, stunned and horrified. Before Chin Hao can act, Wang Han moves with lightning speed. He delivers a powerful slap across Chin Hao's face, sending him stumbling backward and crashing to the floor. Wang Han then pulls a stunned Suchi protectively behind him. He glares at the fallen Chin Hao and declares that she is pregnant with his child, which makes her his woman, and questions who gave him the nerve to try and hit her. Scrambling on the floor, Chin Hao howls in disbelief that Wang Han dared to hit him. His fury boiling over, he grabs a heavy ashtray from a nearby table and charges at the couple, screaming that he is going to kill them. With a calm, reassuring smile, Wang Han tells Suchi to stand behind him, and she nervously agrees. As Chin Hao lunges forward, swinging the ashtray, Wang Han effortlessly dodges the attack. In one motion, he lands a devastating punch to Chin Hao's jaw, sending him flying backward, the ashtray slipping from his grasp. As Chin Hao lies dazed, Wang Han stands over him and declares that he dares to touch his woman. Not finished, Wang Han gets on top of the beaten man, grabs him by the collar, and says that today he is going to teach him a lesson. He rains down a series of brutal punches on Chin Hao's face, ignoring his victim's agonized screams and desperate cries for help. Just as he raises his fist for another blow, Suchi calls out for him to stop. At the same moment, a powerful voice echoes, demanding to know who dares to act so presumptuously. A group of imposing figures has entered, led by an elderly, dignified man with a long white beard and a cane. Suki looks at the man with shock and fear and addresses him as Grandpa. The arrival of the family patriarch freezes everyone. Suki's grandfather, flanked by other family members, surveys the scene. Chin Hao beaten on the floor, Suchi with a strange man, and her mother in shock. The old man's expression is grim as he announces he heard everything. He turns his piercing gaze on his granddaughter and, striking his cane on the floor, demands to know if it is true that she is pregnant with this delivery guy's child. With quiet resignation, Suki confirms that it is. The confession sends the Su family into a panic. They cry out that the situation is outrageous and they cannot afford to offend the powerful Chin family. Her grandfather, his face contorted in fury, roars that the only solution is for the child to be aborted immediately. Chin Hao, however, struggles to his feet and disagrees. He yells that even if she aborts the child, a bitch like her will never set foot in his family's home, leaving the Su family aghast. The weight of the situation becomes too much. They begin to wail that everything is over, blaming each other for spoiling Suchi and lamenting that the Su family is now finished. Suchi stands silently amidst their accusations, her face a mask of sorrow. Finally, she snaps, telling them all to stop arguing. The emotional and physical stress takes its toll, and she cries out in pain, clutching her head as dizziness overcomes her. Before she can fall, Wang Han is there to catch her. He holds her steady and reassures her, telling her not to be afraid and that he will take her away. As he scoops her into his arms, her family, including her parents, rush forward, demanding the stinking delivery guy let her go and threatening to break his legs. Wang Han looks back at them with utter contempt and asks if they even call themselves human. Without another word, he turns and starts to walk out of the house, carrying the now fainting Suchi. When her parents try to block his path, he effortlessly kicks them aside, sending them sprawling. He pauses at the doorway and turns back to the stunned and terrified family. With cold, unwavering determination, he declares that he is taking Suchi with him and asks if anyone has a problem with that, leaving them utterly powerless to stop him. With Suchi unconscious in his arms, Wang Han tells her stunned family that since no one objects, he is leaving. He takes her from the chaotic Su estate to his modern high-rise apartment. Inside, he gently lays the still unconscious Suchi on his sofa. As he does, a card slips from her purse and falls to the floor. After making sure she is resting, Wang Han spots the card and picks it up. He examines it and is surprised to realize that today is her birthday. He feels a surge of pity for her, thinking that even though she comes from a wealthy family, it seems no one remembered her special day. Looking at her sleeping form, he resolves to show her what he is capable of, reaffirming that she is his woman. About 20 minutes later, Suchi begins to stir. She slowly sits up, groggy and disoriented, rubbing her eyes and wondering where she is. Just then, Wang Han emerges from another room wearing an apron. He holds out a bowl of food, telling her she must be hungry now that she's awake. Suki walks over to the dining table, where Wang Han has laid out an elaborate meal he made especially for her. She is impressed by the delicious aroma from the various dishes, which include steamed delicacies, a fruit and cheese platter, and several drinks. Wang Han boasts that his cooking skills are so good that even a princess from Dubai would beg for a taste. Amused by his arrogance, Suchi smiles and asks if it would kill him not to brag. As they sit down to eat, Suchi becomes serious. She tells him that for today, he is forbidden from saying the word die, leaving Wang Han confused. Before he can ask, he reveals his surprise. He brings out a small pink cake with a single lit candle on it. With a confident smile, he presents it to the astonished Suchi and wishes her a happy birthday. Completely taken by surprise, Suchi covers her mouth in shock and asks how he could have known it was her birthday. Wang Han just smiles smugly, asking if she thinks he's pretty amazing. Overwhelmed with emotion, Suchi is speechless as a tear forms in her eye. Noticing this, Wang Han playfully teases her, asking if she is moved to tears and telling her it's okay to cry. He then boasts that he can lend her his shoulder, something even international supermodels can't get. His absurd arrogance breaks the tension, and Suki lets out a genuine laugh. He then encourages her to try the food. She takes a bite and admits it tastes good, to which he confidently replies that of course it does. After they eat for a while, Wang Han tells her to make a wish on her cake. Suchi closes her eyes, puts her hands together, and quietly agrees. Once the moment passes, Wang Han gets serious and asks her what her plans are. Suchi looks at him earnestly and reminds him of his promise to support them, asking if he's going back on his word. Wang Han assures her he is not, but poses a challenge. He asks if she really dares to marry a delivery guy like him. Fired up, Suchi stands and declares she dares, adding that if he fails to support them, she will simply remarry. Hearing this, Wang Han decides and tells her they will register their marriage the very next day. With fierce determination, she agrees, stating that she is not afraid. Satisfied, Wang Han leans back with a smile and says that it's settled. Their plans are interrupted when Wang Han's phone buzzes. He tells Suchi he has to take the call, and she nods. He steps out onto the balcony to answer. The person on the other end, whom he calls Xiaohua, frantically warns him he is in danger. Xiaohua, who calls Wang Han boss, says an assassin named Hydra is coming to Jiangning City to kill him. Wang Han remains calm and asks if the source is reliable and if they can confirm Hydra's location. Xiaohua reports Hydra was last seen near the Lin family's villa. Lighting a cigarette, Wang Han coolly tells his subordinate he understands and will make time to take care of the assassin tomorrow. While Wang Han is on the balcony, Suchi sits on the sofa, talking on her phone and eating her cake. She is on a call with her best friend, Lin Shuifu, who wished her a happy birthday and asked if she was the first one. With an amused smile, Suchi tells her friend she was second. Lin Shuifu is shocked, immediately asking who was first and hoping it wasn't Qin Hao. Suchi, glancing towards the balcony, reveals that it was him. Her friend is furious, demanding to know how she got mixed up with that delivery guy again. As she takes another bite of cake, Suchi sighs and tells an astonished Lin Shuifu that it's a long story, but they have decided to register their marriage tomorrow. This news sends her friend into a panic, who asks if she has gone crazy for marrying a delivery guy and demands her location. Suki calmly replies that she is at his place. A worried Lin Shuifu tries to calm her down, promising to figure something out. She declares she will go and beg the mysterious Big Shot, who won the auction, the one her grandfather knows, to help Suchi no matter what. However, the call suddenly cuts off, and Suchi is left wondering what happened. Meanwhile, on the balcony, Wang Han's tense conversation continues. His subordinate adds more worrying news, informing him that the eldest princess had asked about his whereabouts 2 days ago. Wang Han grows more serious, demanding to know if Xiaohua told her he was in Jiangning. His subordinate nervously explains he had no choice, as he knows the princess's temper and feared she would have castrated him if he hadn't complied. The news is so shocking that Wang Han is speechless and drops his lighter. He yells into the phone, furious that his trusted subordinate sold him out. Xiaohua tries to defuse the situation, suggesting the princess's family background makes her a great match for his boss, and he should just give in. Wang Han angrily cuts him off, demanding to know when she is arriving. Seeing his boss's fury, Xiaohua makes an excuse about a bad signal and abruptly hangs up, leaving Wang Han fuming. He is left alone on the balcony, crouching in frustration, thinking this is a very bad situation. Just then, his phone buzzes with a notification. Annoyed, he wonders who is bothering him now. He looks at his screen and sees a text from an unknown number. The sender introduces herself as Lin Shuifu, Lin Qingyun's granddaughter. In the message, she proposes a business partnership, suggesting that since he is new to the city, cooperating with the Su family on the new district project would be mutually beneficial. Desperate to help her friend, she makes a bold offer, promising that if he agrees, she will do anything he asks. Reading her brazen proposal, Wang Han smirks, thinking she certainly has some nerve. Almost immediately, his phone rings. It is Lin Qingyun, who has clearly learned of his granddaughter's text. He apologizes profusely for the trouble she has caused. Wang Han calmly tells him it's fine. Taking charge, Wang Han gives Lin Qingyun 2 clear instructions. First, he needs a sniper rifle and 2 bullets, which he will pick up tomorrow. Second, he orders Lin to give Suchi full authority over the new district project, forbidding anyone else from the Su family from getting involved. Without hesitation, Lin Qingyun agrees to carry out his young master's commands. Later, while Wang Han is on the balcony, Suchi is relaxing in his apartment, lying on the bed and reading. Her phone buzzes with a message from her best friend, Lin Shuifu. The text has exciting news. Lin Shuifu contacted the mysterious Big Shot who won the new district project. She tells Suchi he has agreed to cooperate with the Su family, and more importantly, insisted that Suki be in charge. They are to meet the next day to discuss details. Overjoyed, Suchi happily replies, confirming she will see her tomorrow. Just then, Wang Han walks back in and notices her happy expression, asking what has her in a good mood. Still seeing him as just a delivery guy, she dismisses it as a project matter he wouldn't understand. She then seems surprised he found her reading, and he teases that he didn't expect her to have a habit of reading books. He leans close, their faces inches apart, and whispers that there's a lot she doesn't expect about him. Flustered by his proximity, Suchi blushes and stammers, asking what he is doing and reminding him that agreeing to marry him doesn't mean. But instead of making a move, Wang Han gently takes a pillow from the bed. He tells her that if she's tired, she should rest, and that he will sleep on the sofa. As he leaves, he nonchalantly adds that reading in bed isn't good for pregnant women, leaving a blushing and speechless Suchi behind. Lying back, she's embarrassed, thinking she really thought he was going to do something. The next day dawns bright. On the apartment balcony, Wang Han is in the middle of a grueling workout, performing one-handed handstand push-ups. Suki, in pajamas, steps out and watches him. Amused, she jokingly asks if he is practicing toad style. He lands smoothly and corrects her, stating it's a technique called the dragon coiling hand, a name she's never heard. He explains it's not a flashy martial art, but a genuine killing technique, demonstrating a few swift movements. Curious, Suchi asks why a simple delivery guy would need to learn something so dangerous. Wang Han stops and looks at her, sharing wisdom from his father. Use martial arts to stop conflict and protect your family. Suchi is impressed and agrees his father's words were wise. Changing the subject, Wang Han says he has made breakfast and prepared toiletries for her. Touched, she remarks she never realized a big guy like him could be so thoughtful. With a confident smirk, he replies, there is a lot she hasn't realized about him yet. He then tells her that after they eat, she needs to come with him to her place. She is confused, asking why. He explains they need her household registration book, otherwise they can't register their marriage. He then playfully teases her, asking if she is really sure about marrying a delivery guy like him. Provoked, Suki gets angry, thinking he is backing out. She yells that she isn't scared and tells him to hurry up so they can register their marriage immediately. As they walk to his motorcycle, Suki brings up a practical matter, asking if they should meet his parents first. Wang Han dismisses it, saying there's no need and they can talk about it after the baby is born. Confused, Suchi asks why they should wait. With a sly smile, Wang Han explains he is afraid his family won't approve of her. He figures that once the baby is born, his family will be forced to accept the situation. Hearing this, Suchi, hands on her hips, sarcastically asks if he is implying he is marrying into her family. He playfully looks her over and compliments her looks, figure, and temperament, but then adds that her family background is a bit lacking. Offended, she asks if he thinks he is more than good enough for her. Wang Han laughs it off, telling her not to take it so seriously and to get on the motorcycle. With an annoyed, humph, she gets on behind him. He tells her to hold his waist tight, and they speed off down the road. Unbeknownst to them, they are being watched. From a hidden spot, Qin Hao and a muscular subordinate see them leave. The subordinate remarks with disgust that the bitch spent the night with a delivery guy and asks his young master what to do. His face dark with rage, Qin Hao gives a brutal order. He tells his man to kill the delivery guy and then take the bitch to a hotel for him. The subordinate cracks his knuckles and says he will take his men and follow them immediately. As Wang Han and Suchi ride through the city, he notices in his rearview mirror that a white van has been tailing them. He realizes they are being followed. Thinking quickly, he leans back and tells Suchi a change of plans. He says she should go home first to get her things, as he has an errand to run. Unaware of the danger, she agrees. Wang Han then accelerates, weaving through traffic to lose their pursuers. Following his plan, Wang Han drives Suchi to a safe house. Once she is safely inside, he gets back on his motorcycle and speeds away, drawing his pursuers' attention. The white van immediately gives chase, following him into an affluent neighborhood. Wang Han leads them on a short chase before pulling up to a large modern villa, a deliberately chosen location. He halts his motorcycle and gets off, seemingly waiting. He glances at the villa's second-floor balcony and spots a man with spiky hair hiding there, confirming it's an ambush. The man on the balcony realizes he has been spotted. Undeterred, Wang Han calmly walks towards the villa, thinking that since his enemies are gathered here, it's time to take care of them all at once. He enters the lavish, empty house and walks upstairs. In a room, a sniper rifle case sits open on a table, exactly as he had arranged. He picks up the suppressed rifle, impressed by Lin's efficiency. However, his attention is suddenly caught by something unexpected. He looks up and notices a blue bra lying on the nearby bed, leaving him momentarily confused. Before he can process it, a woman wrapped in a towel walks out of an adjoining room. It is Lin Shuifu, Suchi's best friend, who lets out a terrified scream upon seeing a strange man in her room holding a high-powered rifle. Recognizing him, Lin Shuifu furiously demands to know what the stinking delivery guy is doing in her home, reminding him he is trespassing in the Lin family's villa. But before their argument escalates, a red laser dot appears on her forehead. Seeing the sniper's laser, Wang Han instantly screams at her to get down. Without a second to spare, a bullet smashes through the window. Wang Han lunges across the room, tackling a terrified Lin Shuifu and knocking her out of the bullet's path just in time. They crash onto the bed and she struggles against him, yelling for the bastard to let her go. He holds her down firmly, his expression serious, and quietly warns her to stop yelling, telling her that if she makes another sound, she will be killed. Getting to his feet, Wang Han grabs the sniper rifle as a stunned Lin Shuifu asks what is happening. He ignores her, moving to the shattered window and taking aim at the villa across from them. He mutters a taunt that Hydra must not have 9 brains and fires a single, precise shot. The bullet flies across the courtyard and finds its mark, hitting the ambusher on the opposite balcony. The sniper is killed instantly, slumping to the ground with a bullet in his head. Wang Han lowers his weapon with a casual salute, remarking with disappointment that Hydra was taken care of so easily. Before he can celebrate, a frantic Lin Huifu grabs him, demanding an explanation for the gun in her house. But at that moment, Wang Han's senses flare as he detects another threat. A second bullet rips through the air, shattering another window from a different angle. Reacting with incredible speed, Wang Han again shouts for her to get down and throws himself on top of her, shielding her with his body. They crash to the floor as the bullet zips past where they had just been standing, impacting the wall behind them. Still on the floor with Lin Shuifu, Wang Han realizes there are more attackers outside. Thinking fast, he grabs a piece of her clothing from the bed and throws it into the air as a decoy. He mentally lists his opponents: the assassin Hydra, the thugs from the van, and this new sniper. He grimly concludes he has several guests to deal with today. The decoy works. As the enemy sniper fires at the movement, Wang Han takes aim with his own rifle, a terrified Lin Shuifu watching from behind him. He returns fire with his second and final bullet. The shot flies across the open space and strikes another sniper hiding in a different location, taking him out. Immediately, heavy suppressing fire erupts from a third location, as another assassin on a nearby rooftop unleashes a volley of shots at their window. Wang Han grabs Lin Shuifu and dives behind a sofa for cover as the wall behind them is peppered with bullets. Pinned down in a compromising position, she screams and calls him a pervert. Once the shooting stops, Wang Han calmly plucks one of the enemy's spent bullet casings from the wall. He examines it closely and recognizes a unique 6-pointed star insignia on the base. He identifies it as a special warhead from a notorious Eastern European assassin organization known as Ares. He turns to a shaken Lin Shuifu and asks when she managed to provoke such dangerous people. She can only stammer that she doesn't know. At that moment, Wang Han looks at his empty rifle and curses himself for being careless. He had only asked for 2 bullets and is now out of ammunition. He kneels, wondering what to do now that he is unarmed and surrounded. Suddenly, a memory strikes Lin Shuifu. She tells Wang Han she might know who is behind the attack. She recalls that a while ago, an Eastern European boss tried to buy research technology from her company, but she had refused his offer. This revelation provides a clear motive for the professional assassins now trying to kill her. As the hail of bullets continues, Wang Han's eyes narrow. He quickly pushes Lin Shuifu's head down, shouting for her to watch out as another bullet zings past them. Pinned down behind the sofa, they sit amidst the debris, waiting for a break in the gunfire. With no ammunition left, Wang Han needs another plan. His eyes fall on the shards of broken glass on the floor. Deciding on a desperate move, he picks up a sharp piece of glass. Seizing a momentary lull in the shooting, he leaps to his feet and, with incredible speed, flings the glass shard like a throwing knife towards the final sniper's position. The makeshift projectile finds its target, and the assassin cries out in pain. With the last sniper taken down, the immediate threat is over. Wang Han stands up and tells Lin Shuifu she can get up now because it is safe. Finally getting to her feet, she looks at him with suspicion and confronts him directly. She states his job as a delivery guy must be a cover and demands to know who he really is. Wang Han coldly dismisses her question, telling her she doesn't need to know his identity. Furious at his secrecy, she threatens to tell Suchi everything, but he quickly holds a finger to his lips to silence her. His expression turns serious as he warns her to be quiet, explaining that he hears a noise outside. A look of terror crosses Lin Shuifu's face as she asks if there are still more enemies. Panicked, she grabs onto him and asks what they are going to do. He calmly tells her not to worry and that he will go take a look. Meanwhile, downstairs, Chin Hao's 3 thugs have entered the villa, armed with large machetes. One of them recognizes Wang Han and wonders what a delivery guy is doing in a place like this. The leader scoffs, assuming that he must be a common thief. Just then, Wang Han appears at the top of the stairs. He looks down at the armed intruders and, with a casual wave, greets them. With a confident smirk, Wang Han calmly asks the 3 armed men if they are looking for him. The muscular leader points his blade at Wang Han, saying they are Brother Hao's men sent by Chin Hao. He accuses Wang Han of sleeping with their boss's woman, Suchi, while another thug impatiently says to stop talking and just break his legs. Completely unfazed, Wang Han simply asks what they plan to do about it. Enraged by his arrogance, the thugs charge forward, screaming insults. The fight is brutally short. Wang Han moves with incredible speed, intercepting the first attacker with a powerful kick to the face that snaps his head back. In seconds, 2 of the thugs are unconscious, leaving only their stunned leader. The muscular thug stares in disbelief, wondering since when the standards for delivery guys had gotten so high and realizing his opponent is a trained martial artist. Refusing to accept defeat by a mere delivery guy, he lets out a furious yell and charges at Wang Han with his machete. Wang Han effortlessly leaps over the wild swing and, in a single motion, delivers a devastating kick to the man's arm. The blow sends the machete flying and knocks the thug to the ground. With all 3 attackers defeated, Wang Han stands amidst the scattered bodies. Lin Shuifu, who watched the fight from the top of the stairs, finally lets out a terrified scream. The sound alerts the downed leader, who, though beaten, is still conscious. Angered by her screaming, he struggles to his feet and sees an opportunity, lunging towards the defenseless Lin Shuifu. Before she can react, he grabs her and holds his blade to her throat, taking her hostage. He glares at Wang Han, threatening to kill her if he takes another step. A terrified Lin Shuifu warns him that her grandfather will not spare him if he dares to harm her. However, Wang Han remains utterly calm. He looks at the thug and, with a chilling lack of emotion, simply tells him to go ahead and do it. Ignoring the blade at Lin Shuifu's throat, Wang Han walks slowly towards the panicked thug, taunting him and asking why he hasn't acted on his threat. As Wang Han continues his relentless advance, he coldly asks if the man is too scared. The thug, sweating and terrified, screams at him to stop. In a blur of motion, Wang Han closes the distance in an instant. Before the thug can react, Wang Han catches the flat of the sword blade between his thumb and forefinger, stopping the weapon completely. He looks at the thug with contempt and asks if he really thinks he is skilled enough to brandish a sword in front of him. The thug is shocked by Wang Han's impossible strength, realizing with horror that he cannot move the blade at all. Wang Han continues to mock him, asking again why he doesn't just make his move. Then, with a simple flick of his fingers, he shatters the steel blade, sending shards of metal flying as the thug and Lin Shuifu stare in stunned disbelief. Before the thug can recover, Wang Han grabs him by the throat, lifting him off the ground. He asks if a stinking, rotten shrimp like him is even worthy of fighting him. Choking, the thug tries to save himself by gasping that he is a member of the powerful Black Dragon Society. Wang Han is unimpressed, dismissively asking, "So what?" before slamming the man's head into the floor, knocking him unconscious. However, the thug suddenly recovers and tries a new tactic. He scrambles to his feet, pleading with Wang Han not to go down a path of crime. This bizarre appeal has no effect. Wang Han delivers a brutal stomp to the man's face, causing him to scream in agony as blood flies from his mouth. Completely broken, the thug begs for mercy. He pleads for Wang Han to stop, making up a story about having an 80-year-old mother. In a final, desperate bid, he tells Wang Han he has important information to report. Standing over him, Wang Han gives the beaten thug 3 seconds for his last words. The man quickly reveals his crucial information. Brother Hao, Chin Hao, has already gone to find Suchi, and if Wang Han doesn't hurry, he will be too late. This news shocks Wang Han. Furious that the thug didn't tell him this vital information sooner, he delivers one last vicious kick, knocking him out cold. Just then, they hear a loud knocking at the door. A voice from outside announces they are the police. Realizing he must leave immediately, Wang Han tells Lin Shuifu he is going to find Suchi and is leaving the situation in her hands. He gives her one final instruction, not to tell anyone he was there. As he runs out, she tells him to go, assuring him she knows what to say. A moment later, 2 police officers enter the villa. The lead officer shows Lin Shuifu his badge and asks what happened. As 2 police cars pull up outside, she begins to explain that she was showering when 3 men broke in with knives. Following her statement, the police arrest the 3 unconscious thugs. An officer reports to his captain that they found 2 dead bodies, the snipers Wang Han had killed, in the villa across the street, and that they do not look like ordinary people. Shocked, the captain orders his men to take everyone and everything to the station for investigation. Meanwhile, Suchi is being cornered in a bedroom by a furious Chin Hao. He reveals his sinister intentions, reminding her of the time he drugged her drink and gloating that he is going to force himself on her now. A terrified Suchi tells him to get out, but he only becomes more enraged. He sneers that he has sent men to kill the delivery guy, and that when they are done, he will force her in front of him. With a final lunge, he vows that he is going to play her to death. Chin Hao is pinning a struggling Suchi to a bed. She tells him to let go, but he taunts her, saying she can scream all she wants because no one will save her. He adds with a sinister grin that the delivery guy is busy with his own problems, and that today, he is going to force himself on her. Just as he leans in, a powerful slap cracks across his face, sending a tooth flying. Chin Hao is sent tumbling across the room, landing in a heap. In the doorway stands Wang Han, who looks down at the fallen man and coldly states that he must be tired of living to dare touch his woman. Struggling to his knees and holding his bruised face, Chin Hao furiously asks the delivery guy if he knows who his father is. Unimpressed, Wang Han tells him that no matter who his father is, he will pay for having a son like him. Enraged, Chin Hao gets to his feet, shouting that his father is Chin Gang, the richest man in Jiangning City, and that going against him is a death sentence. He then lunges forward to attack. Wang Han effortlessly sidesteps the clumsy attack and delivers a powerful kick, dismissing him as a loser. The blow sends Chin Hao flying into a piece of furniture, knocking him out completely. Wang Han then turns to a shaken Suchi and gently tells her not to be afraid because it is all over now. He pulls her into a protective embrace as she tells him how glad she is that he came. He holds her close and reassures her that as long as he is with her, no one will ever dare to touch her again. Meanwhile, the beaten Chin Hao struggles to his feet and stumbles out of the room, shouting one last threat at the stinking delivery guy to just wait. With the immediate danger gone, Suchi looks up at Wang Han and asks what time it is. Confused, he asks her what is wrong. She explains she almost forgot an important meeting at her company and asks if he would go with her. With a warm smile, Wang Han agrees without hesitation, promising he will accompany her anywhere. Suchi and Wang Han arrive in a red sports car at a large, modern corporate building. As they get out, a person greets Suchi, telling her that President Liu is already waiting in the conference room. They enter, and Suchi apologizes to a woman in a business suit for being late. The woman, President Liu, is none other than Wang Han's assistant, Liu Yue. She is shocked to see him and almost addresses him as young master, but he quickly stops her with a gesture. Thinking fast, Wang Han puts an arm around her and pretends they are old classmates. This stuns Suchi, who can't believe Wang Han and the powerful President Liu know each other. Suchi remarks on the coincidence, and Liu Yue nervously agrees as she is invited to sit. With everyone seated, Liu Yue prepares to get down to business, and Suchi agrees to begin. However, just as they are about to start, the door bursts open. Suchi's grandfather, her father, and two other men from the Su family stride in, fawning over President Liu and expressing how honored they are. They insist that for such an important project, they couldn't possibly be careless. A shocked Suchi asks her grandfather why he is there, and Liu Yue politely greets him. The grandfather explains he was so excited about the new district project that he rushed right over. His friendly demeanor vanishes when he notices Wang Han. He angrily asks Suchi why she would bring an outsider to such an important meeting. Suchi stands her ground, reminding her grandfather that since she is in charge of the project, it is her right to decide who she brings. This infuriates her father, Su Jianye, who yells at her, questioning when it became her turn to speak for the company. He belittles her, telling her she has no qualifications, and ordering her to give up her seat for her brother and go pour water for President Liu. At that moment, a smirking young man steps forward and introduces himself as Su Lei. He tells President Liu to discuss the project with him, dismissing Suchi by saying she has no say. Suchi tries to protest to her grandfather that the project was given to her, but her father cuts her off again, yelling at her to pour the water. Finally, another man, Suchi's uncle Su Jinjiang, delivers the final blow. He smugly tells Suchi that from now on, all company matters should be handed over to Su Lei, reminding her that she will be getting married soon and should understand her place. As the Su family tries to push Suchi aside, Wang Han finally speaks up. With his arms crossed and an intense look, he asks them what they think they are doing, reminding them the project was originally given to Suchi. This infuriates Suchi's grandfather, who yells at Wang Han to shut up and questions what right he has to speak. Sula joins in with a smug look, mocking Suchi for having a delivery guy as a boyfriend. He then tells his grandfather he heard she is also pregnant with this man's child. The revelation sends the grandfather into a rage. He points at Wang Han and orders Suchi to get this low-class trash out immediately, declaring he and his dog are banned from the company. Suchi leaps to Wang Han's defense, arguing it doesn't matter what he does because he earns his money honestly, and her grandfather has no right to insult him. Her defiance only enrages the old man further. Seeing the situation is hopeless, Wang Han stands to leave with Suchi. He tells her family they are shameless and repeats his condition. The project can only be handled by Suchi. The grandfather confronts him, demanding to know what right a mere delivery guy has to make demands. Instead of answering, Wang Han turns to a nervous Liu Yue. He smoothly addresses her as his old classmate and asks her to do him a favor. He states that Suchi is his fiancée and the project must be given to her alone. Under his commanding gaze, Liu Yue reluctantly agrees. Sule is shocked and tries to argue, telling President Liu that Suchi is irresponsible and knows nothing about the company, insisting he would be a better choice. But Liu Yue, following Wang Han's orders, ignores him and addresses the grandfather directly. She states her company will only work with Suchi. If the Su family cannot agree, they will find another partner. The grandfather is stunned and asks to speak with her boss. Liu Yue delivers a final, crushing blow. She informs him she has full authority and that he, the patriarch, is not qualified to meet her boss. The harsh words leave the old man sweating and completely speechless, utterly defeated and humiliated in front of his family. Completely defeated, Suki's father, Su Jianye, quickly changes his tune. He tells President Liu not to be angry and assures her they will meet her demands, agreeing to put Suchi in charge. His father-in-law agrees, saying that as long as they get the partnership, it's fine if Suchi is the one to do it. Satisfied, Liu Yue states that they will sign the contract today. Now in control, Liu Yue stands beside Suchi and dismisses the rest of the Su family. She informs them she and Suchi need to discuss the contract details privately and that they can leave. With no power to object, Su Jianye can only agree, and he helps his stunned father-in-law out of the room. As the defeated men file out, Su Lei tries to protest to his father, but he is quickly silenced and ushered out. Once they are gone, Wang Han watches the door close with a smirk, thinking what a bunch of clowns they are and how they brought their humiliation upon themselves. Liu Yue then professionally hands the contract to Suchi to review. Meanwhile, in an office elsewhere, an enraged Su Lei confronts his father, Su Jianye, demanding to know how he could let that bitch, Suchi, be in charge. Su Jianzhang, sitting calmly at his desk, tells him not to worry, assuring him he has a plan. When Su Lei tries to ask their uncle, Su Jianzhang, to leave, his father stops him, stating they are all on the same side. He then reveals a shocking family secret. Suchi is not his biological daughter. Both Su Lei and Su Jianzhang are stunned. Su Jianzhang asks if his sister-in-law cheated on him, but Su Jianye clarifies the truth. He explains that his wife, Yang Huimin, was unable to have children, so they adopted Suchi. He then complains that she has now shamed the family by getting involved with a delivery guy. A thoughtful Su Jianzhang asks who Suchi's biological parents are. Su Jianye dismisses the question, saying he doesn't know and assumes they are long dead, having left her nothing but a worthless jade pendant. Impatient, Su Lei interrupts, eager to hear his father's plan. With a sinister grin, Su Jianzhang reveals his scheme. He tells them to wait and let Suchi take over the project for now. Once she has done the hard work, he has a way to snatch it away from her. Understanding the plot, Su Lei agrees with a confident, sly smile. Dressed in a suit with a cigarette, Wang Han approaches two security guards on duty and asks for a light. A heavier-set guard offers a lighter. Noticing Wang Han's formal attire, the guard assumes he is there for an interview, but Wang Han says no. Curious, the guard then asks what he is doing there. Very casually, Wang Han reveals he is a delivery guy. The two guards burst out laughing, one of them joking that delivery guys and security guards are lifelong enemies. Wang Han chuckles, but then he notices both guards grow serious and stand up straight, so he asks what is going on. Suddenly, the guards snap to attention. One tells the other that President Su has arrived. The heavier-set guard explains with admiration that President Su is the most beautiful woman in the company and that seeing her daily gives him the motivation to work. Wang Han scoffs at them for getting so worked up over a woman. Annoyed, the guard tells him not to act so high and mighty, reminding him that as a delivery guy, he is no better than them. At that moment, an elegant Suchi appears. The two guards greet her energetically and respectfully as President Su. She acknowledges their hard work and says she is going to get her car. As Suchi walks toward her red sports car, the heavier guard is ecstatic, boasting to his colleague that President Su spoke to him. Wang Han, watching this, asks if such a big reaction is necessary. The guard approaches Wang Han and puts an arm on his shoulder patronizingly. He offers some advice, telling him that even as a delivery guy, it's still important to have dreams. Just then, Suchi pulls up beside them in her flashy red sports car. From the driver's seat, she looks at Wang Han and tells him to get in. Wang Han bids the guards farewell with a smile, telling them he will remember their words and see them later. He then gets into the passenger seat of the luxury car. The two guards are left completely frozen, watching in disbelief as the sports car speeds away, unable to process that the humble delivery guy they were just pitying left with their beautiful and unattainable boss. As they drive, Wang Han notices Suchi's happy expression and remarks that things must have gone smoothly. Suchi agrees, explaining it was thanks to her friend, Lin Suifu, who found the mysterious big boss behind the new district project. She adds that she is determined to thank this person face to face. Amused, Wang Han tells her she should definitely thank him well. He then changes the subject, informing her he has already contacted the Civil Affairs Bureau, and they will register their marriage the next morning. Suchi calmly agrees to the plan, but lays out her conditions. She only wants the marriage certificate so their child will have a father. After the baby is born, she will give him a monthly payment of 30,000. A surprised Wang Han asks if she is trying to keep him as a paid companion. Suchi tells him he can think whatever he wants. With a confident smirk, Wang Han crosses his arms and retorts that if she really wants to keep him, 30,000 is far too little. His response infuriates Suchi. She tells him not to push his luck, questioning how much a delivery guy could possibly earn in a month and implying 30,000 is more than enough. In her frustration, she slams her foot on the accelerator, and the red sports car speeds down the city street. They soon arrive at the entrance of an upscale, modern residential complex. After parking, Wang Han gets out and leans on the door, teasing Suchi that she seems to know the route well and has already memorized the way to his home. Annoyed, she replies that with GPS, she can go anywhere. As they walk through the complex, Wang Han's phone begins to ring. He tells Suchi to wait a moment, as he needs to take the call. Wang Han answers, casually asking the old man on the other end what's going on. The person informs him a shipment has been seized by the Black Dragon Society, and he needs to handle it. The caller also mentions a card has been left at his doorstep to help with the problem. Wang Han confidently agrees, promising to take care of everything by noon the next day. The caller then abruptly changes the subject, asking if he heard correctly that Wang Han is getting married. This question startles and angers Wang Han, who demands to know who leaked the information. The old man reveals that Lin Qingyun told him and accuses Wang Han of trying to get married without permission. He continues his tirade, questioning why Wang Han would pass over countless wealthy heiresses for a girl from the minor Su family. Wang Han tries to de-escalate and explain. However, the old man cuts him off, saying there is no need for explanations. Instead, he informs a horrified Wang Han that his big sister will be coming to question him personally the next day, and he should prepare himself. Wang Han is thrown into a panic, begging the old man not to be so cruel and asking if he could even survive her visit, but the call abruptly ends. Furious and stressed, Wang Han hangs up, muttering a threat that he will get back at the old man. Noticing his agitated state, Suchi approaches and asks what happened. Quickly hiding his turmoil, Wang Han reassures her it's nothing. He puts a reassuring arm on her shoulder and tells her it's time to go home. They walk back to his apartment, entering the modern living room. Once inside, Suchi spots a white card on the coffee table and asks what it is. Wang Han casually explains it is just a gift card meant for someone else. Changing the subject, he takes off his jacket and suggests she must be hungry, offering to cook. Suchi quietly agrees. As he heads to the kitchen, Suchi sits on the sofa holding his jacket. A small, content smile forms on her face as she thinks that having a kept man at home is actually quite nice. In his apartment, Wang Han, wearing an apron, tells Suchi to have a seat and that he will be finished cooking soon. She thanks him. As he heads into the kitchen, he playfully remarks that it's no trouble for his wife and child, adding that he is, after all, a kept house husband. His comment leaves Suchi speechless, and she sits on the sofa with a faint, amused smile. The next day, the scene shifts to the Jiangning Civil Affairs Bureau. Wang Han and Suchi walk out of the building, each holding a red marriage certificate. Wang Han proudly declares that from now on, he is officially a married man. Suchi playfully teases him, asking his plans for the day and if he is going to deliver food. Wang Han dismisses it, joking that now that he's in some nice clothes, he should go out and have some fun with a few young ladies. His response irritates Suchi. She calls him hopeless and complains that even as a married man, he still has a terrible temper. She turns and walks away in a huff, telling him to do whatever he wants. As she leaves, Wang Han's playful expression vanishes, replaced by a serious one. He thinks that before anything else, he needs to take care of the task the old man assigned him. His mission takes him to a towering skyscraper, the headquarters of the Black Dragon Group. He stands before the massive building, confirming it's the right place. He thinks about the group's origins, recalling that the Black Dragon Society was once a local gang that has since transformed into a seemingly legitimate corporation. However, he knows they are still involved in shady business like debt collection and loan sharking. With a cold and determined look, he resolves to see for himself just how capable they really are.